Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another brand new video. I hope you guys are all doing well. So in this video, let's talk about Bitcoin and where Bitcoin will potentially be heading because Bitcoin guys, okay, listen here guys, okay, to all my Bitcoin holders out there that are in fact watching this video right now, some fantastic moves are in fact going to be happening for Bitcoin in the next few weeks and of course in the next, few months, so short term. And of course, right, once the halving does in fact happen, I'm going to be showing you guys why Bitcoin will rise. And we know every single time, guys, we have the halving for Bitcoin, okay, throughout the years and previous halving cycles, right? Bitcoin always tends to pump the most. And that's where it really does pump the most, right? It really, really, really does. And that's where it actually shows, parabolic, okay, movements up to the opposite. So in this video, I want to talk about that. I want to show you guys a fair few charts, showing you guys that yes, Bitcoin in the next few months, okay, will potentially reach these price targets that I have in fact, targeted, right? So $30,000, $35,000, $40,000, and potentially over $50,000. Okay, 51.6K. In towards the end of this year in 2023. I really do believe this is very realistic for Bitcoin to reach towards the end of this year in 2023, right? Around 51K, okay, or even over 50K. So we will see, right? We will see what's going to happen to Bitcoin. But in my opinion, Bitcoin right now is still holding up very well. Still, for the past few hours and for the past few days, you guys can clearly see that Bitcoin really hasn't been moving, right? Still, okay, it's still just below $27,000. Right now, it's currently at $26,700. It is, in fact, slightly shooting up, okay, just slightly. You guys can clearly see that. Okay, so that's amazing to see for Bitcoin. So we're still holding up very, very well. Okay, especially with all this FUD, okay, and negative news and whatnot around the crypto space. Bitcoin and other altcoins today still are holding up very well and have been for the past few days. So the market tonight, okay, you guys can clearly see that Bitcoin is in fact slightly, bouncing back up. It's up over 1%, 1.1% for the past 24 hours. Ethereum, not much movement, but it's still holding up very, very well. Guys, to see some altcoins are in fact actually pumping up. So that's amazing to see as well, right? You guys can see XRP 2%, Dogecoin 4%, Solana 1%, okay, Litecoin 1.9%, almost 2%, right? Avalanche, same. You guys can clearly see, right, a fair few more altcoins are in fact having a slight pump up, but majority of them are not moving, and some of them are even down like 1%. So it's still sort of a slow market today, okay, but everything's still holding up very well, okay. Everything's not crashing down with all this FUD that's happening, okay, right now in the crypto market. But everything's holding up very well, right? Especially with all this negative news. So I'm happy with that, and I hope you guys are still holding on in there as well. Okay, we all shouldn't be panicking right now. We all should be, chilling, right? Because Bitcoin, we shouldn't be worried at all. And I'm gonna show you guys why. So Bitcoin short term, okay, yes, Bitcoin. We saw Bitcoin actually, go below $25,000. Well, actually, no, it didn't go all the way down below 25K. It actually went all the way down to around $25,800 around 3 days ago. Okay, and that's when the SEC announced that they were in fact, suing Binance. Okay, and on that, and then the next day, guys, you guys can see this is where Bitcoin pumped. And this is actually the day where they also announced that they were in fact suing Coinbase, and Bitcoin did not care. It just pumped back up to $27,000. So clearly, this is all FUD, guys, and that's why I also tell you guys to ignore the noise, ignore the FUD, and all the negative news. Bitcoin is going to be okay, and it still is. It's holding up very, very well with all this FUD, right? It really is, and I'm pretty sure we can all agree to that. So Bitcoin went as low as around $25,400, okay, and then it shot back up to 27K out of nowhere, and that was absolutely amazing to see. Now, okay, potentially we could see a retest, okay, a retest to $25,000 potentially, right? We could potentially see Bitcoin drop back down to that level of $25,000, and then it's going to shoot back up to $30,000. Now, can Bitcoin potentially, go lower than $25,000? That's a tough one. Yes, it could potentially happen, right? It could potentially happen. Who knows? Okay. where the SEC, okay, will target next. Okay, a lot of people right now are in fact saying that crypto.com, I'm not spreading FUD here, guys, okay, I'm really not, but a lot of people out there on Twitter right now are in fact making assumptions and predictions that crypto.com, another major crypto exchange, okay, they are saying that, people are saying that the SEC, okay, will target crypto.com next, okay, for suing crypto.com and whatnot, right? So we will see. We will see, okay, and if that does in fact happen, yes, we could potentially see Bitcoin drop further down, okay? That's where we might actually see Bitcoin retest back down to $25,000, and of course, lower than that, maybe 24, 23. Do I see Bitcoin going lower than $20,000? It's possible, okay, at this point, but very, very unlikely to happen. We know the halving is literally less than 1 year from now, so I don't see Bitcoin retesting back down and dropping back down all the way down to that level. If we go to the daily time frame, right, I really don't see Bitcoin, dropping down at that level, below $20,000, which is pretty much all the way down here, right? I don't see Bitcoin going back down to 19K. I don't see it going back down to $18,000 or lower than that, right? And we know Bitcoin's previous lows were in fact down here last November. It went all the way down to around $15.6 thousand. But mainly we saw Bitcoin stuck at 16K for like a couple of months, couple of weeks, for a long period of time, right around like over 2 months. So Bitcoin really wasn't moving. And if you were in fact dollar cost averaging, stacking a whole bunch of Bitcoin at this level, at its like pure bottom, you're blessed, right? You are blessed because you actually caught the bottom for Bitcoin. So yeah, I don't see Bitcoin, dropping below $20,000, okay, during this time right now. I just really don't, but we will see, okay? Potentially, we will potentially see Bitcoin retest to 25K, and that's when we'll see it bounce back up to $1,000, okay? And it's just going to continue on. This pattern that we have in fact been seeing will in fact continue, okay? It will. So, you guys know that Bitcoin likes to sort of repeat itself, not quite, not 100%, but sort of rhyme, okay? And it's like clockwork. So back in 2019, right, we saw Bitcoin have this drop, and it wasn't really moving, right? It was sort of consolidating, okay, for quite some time, right? And then we saw it bounce back up, okay? We saw it pump, okay, have a pullback, and then we saw it have another pump, have a pullback, and you guys can clearly see that's exactly what Bitcoin is doing right now, okay? Pretty much similar to what it did in 2019, okay? We did in fact see Bitcoin drop, okay? We saw it consolidate for like 2 months, over 2 months, November and December, okay? And then the beginning of 2023, the New Year's, we saw Bitcoin pump, like have a pullback, and then in fact, retest back down to $20,000, and then it pumped again, and that was also another pullback. And you guys can clearly see the target next, will potentially be up to the upside, okay? So $48,000. So a lot of people are in fact saying that Bitcoin has a potential here to, skyrocket back up to $48,000 sometime this year in 2023. And I've been telling us that many times that this year alone in 2023, I do in fact see a 50K Bitcoin. And that is a very possible and realistic price target, right, in my opinion, for Bitcoin. Because this year, in 2023, guys, okay, we're going to in fact see some teasers. Okay, we're going to see some pumps, and they're going to be little teasers, just like what Bitcoin did back in 2019. And then towards the end of the year in 2020, right, we know in 2020, we had the halving around April or May, okay? And once that happened, obviously we saw Bitcoin sort of not really pump too much once, the halving happened. But the next like few weeks, few months, that's when we really saw Bitcoin pump. So, once it was going towards the end of the year in 2020, that's where we saw Bitcoin really pump. And then, of course, we know what happened in the year 2021. That's when we went absolutely parabolic, right? So the same exact thing's going to happen, okay? The year 2024, we're going to see the halving, okay? And then towards the end of the year in 2024, that's when we're going to see Bitcoin pump like crazy. And then the year 2025 should be an amazing year for Bitcoin and crypto, right? So be excited for that, guys. Be excited for that. Now, I want to talk about this. Okay, Bitcoin is climbing up steps by steps symmetrically. So you guys can clearly see, okay, we have in fact hit bottom, just like what Bitcoin did in 2015, okay, to hit 2017, right? We know Bitcoin did in fact an all-time high 2014, and then it dropped right below, and we did in fact hit a bottom, okay, in 2015. And then we saw Bitcoin slowly bounce back up, and it was in fact going absolutely crazy, right? In 2017, it went high as $19,000, so almost $20,000, which was in fact a crazy new all-time high for Bitcoin back at that time, right? You know, 2017 towards the end of that year in 2017 around December, okay, Bitcoin was pumping like crazy, and then we know what happened in 2018. It dumped, right? So the same thing, okay. The same thing is going to happen pretty much, okay. So these targets will in fact happen for Bitcoin, okay, you know, $50,000 right here. And then, okay, the year 2024, once the halving happens around April or May, okay, so pretty much less than 1 year from now, we're going to see Bitcoin pump. Pretty much not the exact same thing, but, you know, this sort of the same thing, right? Like I said, history does sort of rhyme and repeat itself. So that's what we're going to see for the year in 2024. Okay, for Bitcoin, it's just going to keep rising up, and I really do believe we will in fact see a 100k Bitcoin. And once Bitcoin reach 6 figs, okay, that's going to be history right there. So be excited for that, for all my Bitcoin holders that's watching this video right now. Okay, be excited. Okay, but first we've got to take baby steps and reach these price targets for this year. Okay, you know, $30,000, right? And of course 35, 40, 43, 45, and of course over $50,000. I think these are in fact some realistic price targets to hit for this year alone in 2023. Okay, and the rally will continue for 2024 and 2025. So be excited for that. Now, one more chart that I really want to show you guys. Okay, and this chart really does show you guys that we are officially hit bottom. Okay, so 2015, you guys can clearly see we hit bottom. Okay, you guys clearly see that right there and right here. Okay, and then we saw Bitcoin pump, right? And that's when we saw the next bull cycle happen. And then Bitcoin dropped, okay, and it hit bottom again, right down here. You guys can clearly see that, right? In 2019. And then we saw Bitcoin slowly bounce back up, okay? And then we hit bottom again, right? Bitcoin dropped, massive falling wedge. Okay, you guys clearly see that, massive downside, all of 2022, right? And you guys can see we have hit bottom, which was last November and December, pretty much, when we saw Bitcoin at 16k, you know, below 16k at one point. So that's that. Okay, so we have already officially hit bottom. Okay, even shows it right here, and now it's all ups from here, just like previous cycles when we hit bottom, right? So it's looking pretty good right now, and that's why I was been telling guys that it's all ups from here. Okay, it really is. It's all ups from here. You know, we're not going to see Bitcoin potentially, you know, drop back down below $20,000 ever again. Okay, I don't think we will in fact see Bitcoin retest at 20k ever again, right? So that's just my personal opinion. So yes, in the next few weeks potentially, and of course in the next few months, we're going to see Bitcoin continue to rise up to the upside. So it's looking pretty good, right? It really is. For Bitcoin, it's holding up very well. The Fingrid index right now today is currently at 50, neutral. Just like yesterday, it was at 50 as well. So today, still not much movements, and that's because it's understandable. Bitcoin is not really moving, and other altcoins in the market, okay, overall today is not moving as well, right? You guys can clearly see that. So it's understandable, right? But we are still looking pretty good. Okay, at least we're not in fear mode. So right now we're neutral. Yesterday we were neutral. Last week we were neutral, and last month we were neutral as well. But everything is holding up very well. So that's that for this video, guys. I just really wanted to make this quick video showing you guys what's happening with Bitcoin, and of course some huge move ahead, right? That's going to happen for Bitcoin, these charts that I just showed you guys. So be excited for that, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. I really would appreciate that. I'll catch you guys all in my next video. Have a blessed day, guys.